What's up, you guys? Eddie at Fliptroniks. So I'm going to be comparing the Galaxy Note 10 versus the Sony Xperia 10 Plus. Alright, so these are two awesome phones. They are a lot different from one another, but I'm going to do a basic spec comparison. We're going to do a video comparison, a gaming comparison, of course, we're going to do a loudness test. Now, I want to go over design on both phones because these are going to be completely different. Now, you can see the Xperia 10 Plus over here. It's got basically a hard PC design. It's got a glass front on it, and then, of course, the Note 10 over here, you know, you've got the all-glass design, you've got Gorilla Glass. So when it comes to phones being fragile, clearly, you know, if you drop the Note 10, it might be able to take a drop without cracking, but I've dropped this Sony phone so many times and it's just held up really well, which is the one thing I like about it. You know, it's not using a glass design on it. It doesn't look as sleek, but at the same time, you know, the phone can definitely take a drop. Price points on these phones are going to be completely different. Obviously, the Note 10 just came out, so it's going to be selling for between like $900 and $1,000, depending on where you get it. The Sony over here, though, I mean, you can get this phone, you know, maybe under 400 bucks right now. I think it's one of the best budget phones worth, you know, checking out, especially if you don't have a lot of money. And, you know, I'm not a huge Sony phone lover by any means, but this phone really is, you know, it's a nice phone. Also have some links down there if you want to check out the latest pricing on Amazon for these. All right, okay, so as far as displays, you know, clearly, you know, you've got a 6.5-inch LCD display over here on the Xperia 10 Plus, and then you've got a 6.3-inch dynamic OLED display here on the Galaxy Note 10. Now, the one thing about the Sony phone right here is that it does look a little bit weird because it's so long, but in a second, or in a few seconds here, I'm going to show you really just how good the screen looks for like when you're watching Netflix and other videos. Processor-wise, you've got a Snapdragon 636 on the Sony, you've got a Snapdragon 855 on the Note 10. And then, of course, cameras, you know, they were both 12 megapixel, but you've got, you know, the 16 megapixels, some ultra wide features on here on the Note 10 that you're not going to get on the Sony phone. And that's really it, guys, for the basic spec comparison. So I'm going to flip these phones over. And, you know, like I said, I do want to load up some video, especially Netflix. This Sony phone definitely has been one of my go-to phones for watching video. I do like how it optimizes, especially Netflix, if I want to catch up on a movie or a TV show. You are going to be hearing both phones on the 50% volume mark, so that's what you're going to be looking at. But I already had a chance to really kind of compare these phones, and the Sony is, the Note 10 is going to be, you know, much louder, unfortunately. But, you know, it is what it is. So let's load up, you know, some 300. I've been trying to finish this movie a little bit. Now, you are going to be able to see a difference here, obviously, on the OLED versus LCD. But, you know, you can kind of just see that, you know, if I line both phones up like this, the screen does go a little bit longer on the Sony, so you get that, like, really wide angle screen. I think that it just looks great. I mean, I definitely think that, you know, clearly you have a better picture quality up here on the Note 10, but if you come down here to the Sony, it doesn't look bad at all. I mean, it looks really good. We'll let this scene play out for a second.
Spartan!
Okay, so as far as, you know, the video comparison goes on here, you do still have to deal with the notch on the Sony phone, but, you know, like I said, I do like the wide angle you get. I think it looks really slick. So I'm going to close this out. We're going to load up, you know, some gameplay for everybody on here. And the game I wanted to load up was going to be, whatchamacallit here? Armed Heist. My bad, guys. This is definitely like one of my favorite bank robbery style games, and I think it's a good one to compare both phones with. So I'll start up here on the Note 10. I'll come back down and kind of switch off between both phones, but you know, let me make sure this one's turned up about the same. All right, so we're gonna be about exactly on the same, you know, loudness. But like I said, I've already tested out, you know, both phones as far as like what's louder, and I can tell you the Note 10 is gonna be a louder phone. All right, let's do this. Some good shooting by me here. All right, I'm gonna take back both phones back to the home screen right here, and I'm really just gonna give some of my closing thoughts, you know, for using either one of these. Now, clearly, the Note 10 is a beast. You know, this phone I think is definitely the best Samsung phone to come out, you know, all year and, you know, to date. And then of course the Sony over here though, I mean, you can get it for a really good price point. It's not going to be as fragile. It's going to be a little bit slower, not as loud, not as nice of a phone as the Note 10, but at the same time, it's still a really nice phone. And I'm not a big Sony phone fan lover, like I said, but I still have really enjoyed this one, especially for watching video content. Anyways, let me know what you guys thought. If you have any questions about either one of these phones, you can message me below in the comments, and I'll have some of the latest prices that you guys can, you know, check either one of these out on Amazon directly in the top of the description. Now, if you could hit the like and share on this, I'd appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed to us yet, hit that subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.